ever just accidentally delete all the footage for your favorite books of 2019 video? Because I did. Hey, what's up you guys, it's Steph, okay? And yeah, I accidentally deleted that. And the video I filmed after is actually going up first because everything went topsy-turvy. And, like, the month of Christmas in retail is the worst month to work retail, and I hate it. It's so great. I'm having such a good time. The sad thing is, when filming that first video, I had narrowed my books down. I'm sure I said a couple, and I'm sure there's a couple I could repeat, but at the same time, I just don't remember what that list consisted of fully, and how many I went into. And there's just so many books I read this year. At the current point, we are just past the first week of December, and I have read 60-something books this year, and I'm trying to hit 65 so that I can be right there at 10 books above my reading goal, because now that I've beaten my reading goal back in a while back, now I just want to further beat it. And setting new goals on top of those, hoo-hoo. I really don't know what to talk about in this video, because like all my books are hidden away again, and to bring them out would cause such mayhem with my shelves, and then it's just such a mess right now. I don't have the time to edit, I don't have the time to film, I'm stealing time from other projects I need to be working on, so it's great. I thought I would just sit down and talk about some of my favorites, like favorite things from 2019, and some things I thought were interesting, some things I liked, didn't like, whatever. Let's just sit down and talk about them, I guess. I also just got this idea because I'm sitting right next to my Sword and Shield banner that I got for pre-ordering both games. So that counts as a favorite thing because I just finished Sword. I don't know if I've fully finished yet because I just finished the after the story, or after the main campaign, like, little extra bits. I can't even think of the right word for that right now. Post-story bonus bits, and it's so interesting. I love what they did with the characters in this game. I love how they're not quite just one-dimensional, there's more dimensions to them. We have a very determined rival who's also living in the shadow of an older sibling who is the elite champion. We have a scientist who is also in the shadow of the former scientist. But it's like, they give the characters more depth in this game, I feel like, and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to finish all the way through Sword, or Shield, because I finished Sword. But those games were so freaking fun. I love the Dynamax thing and playing it on the TV. Like, it's so cool to, like, in the camping aspect. You can have all your Pokemon out at once. I do miss, like, them having them walk behind you, like in Let's Go, and some really old games, like, Gold and Silver and all those. Like, that's one of the elements I really miss, is not being able to have your Pokemon walk behind you, or be out just kind of in the free play. Like, you have to go camping if you want your Pokemon to come out. But I really like that you can have multiple Pokemon out at once when you do go camping, and you can even, like, talk to two at the same time, and they'll interact with each other, like, oh, I like this Pokemon, or I don't understand this Pokemon, or they want to get to know each other, whether they seem to like each other. It's so freaking cool. I love what they do with this game. Some parts of the story, like, there was some getting through it, the cutscenes, a little bit difficult, it's hard, but we got through it. Next up, some favorite books, because this is a booktube channel. I may be holding A Dream So Dark by L.M. McKinney, but, well, I did actually read this one this year. Ha! The one I want to talk about is the 2019 release, A Blade So Black. That's this one. A Dream So Dark by L.M. McKinney, which is the sequel to this book, the next book in the Nightmareverse, and it is some quality content. I love it so much. It's a continuation of Badass Alice's story, and it's freaking amazing. We journey further into Wonderland. We learn more about the characters. It is so good. There's character development. There's, like, introductions of more characters. It's just so interesting to read and to see more of Wonderland. And I just want to draw all of it. L.L. McKinney, like, she took Wonderland and she ran with it, and I love it so much. I love what she's done with this book. I love the story. I love the characters. I love it so freaking much. Like, so much, I can't put it into words. I love it so much. I can't wait to own A Dream So Dark, to have it on my shelves next to this beauty, because the cover for that one, chef kiss perfect. Another favorite book I read this year is Color Me In by Natasha Diaz. There is also Full Disclosure by Cameron Garrett. Both released this year, like a month apart, I believe. Like either a month or a month or two apart. Color Me In by Natasha Diaz. It is about this mixed teenager. Her mother is black, her father is white and Jewish. Grows up with them, everything seems fine. Then I believe about 16 or 17, her parents get divorced. For a majority of the time, our main character lives with her mother's family in the Bronx, and then she kind of goes back and forth for visitations with her father. And growing up, her father told her she never had to really partake in Jewish traditions. He wasn't going to raise her Jewish, but we get to this point in her life, and her father decides, bat mitzvah, ayy. Before the divorce, our main character never really had issues with her biracial roots. She never really thought too much about them. But living in the Bronx with her family who didn't see her as black enough and not having, like, shared their struggle enough to know what it is to be black, and then having all this Jewish side of her that she never really knew because she was never really brought up with it, suddenly thrust upon her, it's overwhelming, and it's such an interesting story. It has some great, like, divorced parents rep. I really related to that aspect of it. It is an Own Voices book. The author is of mixed heritage, and they also had a divorce around this age, so they wrote from their own experience, and I really liked that as well. So I would highly recommend that book. Full Disclosure by Cameron Garrett, came out last month or the month before. I believe Full Disclosure by Cameron Garrett came out in October. I got it early through Book of the Month YA. So Full Disclosure is about a girl. She is directing her school's theater program. She is catching feels for a guy who may be catching feels back. And she is HIV positive. Now, she was born with HIV. Her mother had it, and she passed it down to her. After she was born, however, she was put up for adoption and adopted by 2 loving fathers. It is a great story. There are so many queer characters. There's so many... It's just good things to talk about this book. It's very sex positive, which is something like I don't really see in YA from what I've read so far. And I just like how sex positive and open it is, talking about how can I have safe sex with a male, with a female? How can I, like, do things to prevent other people from catching what I have if I do want to have sex? There's a great sequence I don't want to spoil, but it's very sex positive. And it's another one that I would highly recommend. It is such a good story. Like, quality content. TV show-wise, Good Omens was a good show this year. Finally got around to watching that, and I absolutely loved it. Like, that was some good content. Finally, some good food. I'm describing things so well, just being like, that's some good content. Chef kiss. Like, that's a great way to just share my feelings. Insufferable Husbands, like, they're practically married. Let's be real here. Aziraphale and Crowley are husbands. They're married at this point. It is law. I love their dynamic. I loved the story. It was really good. I would recommend that one if you haven't seen it yet. I don't know if I will read the book because I've heard, like, very mixed things. I've heard some people say if you enjoy the show, you may not enjoy the book. The books is very dragged out, I have heard. I'm not sure. I've kind of looked into it. I might get the audiobook, if anything, because I've seen the book. It's a little bit intimidating. Just a little bit. I also finally started Tangled the series this year because I got Disney Plus, so I was able to finally watch Tangled the series. I am loving it so far. I already knew about characters like Varian and that the show existed and things from, like, YouTube and things like that. I'm so excited to finally get to know more about these characters, because for the longest time I was obsessed for Ready as I'll Ever Be from the show, and to finally get to know Varian as a character and watch his arc evolve into what it comes up as in Ready as I'll Ever Be by the time of that point in the series, I believe, towards, like, the middle of season 2. I love what they did with his arc. I love Varian as a character. I love his story arc, and it's... Should I say it again? Quality content. Like, I just really love Varian as a character. I love, like, the complexities, and I would recommend that one too if you like Tangled, because it's some good stuff. Steven Universe Future just started, but I already love it, and I am so interested to see Like, we're learning more about Pink Diamond, which is so good because Pink is such a complex character. She really divides the fandom on whether people love her or they hate her, and it's so interesting because I don't even know how to describe it. Pink Diamond is just such a complex and compelling character. On one hand, people knew her as this like tyrant who would go on screaming fits and she was a little bit entertaining, but sometimes she was just a pain in the butt. And then we have other people who knew her and that she was a hero. She led the rebellion. Like, there's so much about this character. Words. It's super interesting, and I love how Steven Universe Future is already delving into more about her and who she was, and we're getting just a little bit more backstory, and we're getting to see all these like new characters and old characters, and good stuff. Finally, I guess I should talk about some of my arting stuff, because I've been doing a lot more art stuff in 2019, and I'm happy about it. I did like a whole like 9-day challenge on TikTok of drawing all VisiPop characters from Hazbin Hotel and Hell Boss. I really like how that page turned out. I would show you, but I don't have my sketchbook with me. But I have like a whole like page, my big sketchbook that I'm really proud of. I really like most of them. There's a couple I kind of messed up on, but for the most part, I'm very proud of that page. I filled one sketchbook in 2019, and I am like in two right now. I'm in my small one and my big one. I also got a one for ink, and I'm very excited about that one. All I've really drawn in that one is Pennywise, so it's lit. I've just been enjoying drawing and painting more with watercolors in 2019. I haven't really done it in so long. And then I did Inktober. I actually did like most of the prompts in Inktober, minus like 2 or 3. And I've just kind of been drawing a little bit every day, if not every day, and posting a lot of my art stuff on TikTok. There's a couple things I don't post, but a lot of it I'll record the process and post on TikTok, and I really have fun with it. It's a nice medium when I'm not like filming videos and having to edit there. I can just film a quick thing on my phone. It may take like half an hour to an hour to like actually do the drawing, but then you look, it's like 15 seconds on TikTok depending on like what time set you put it on. It's so like freeing in a way to have such short form content in between longer form content that I have to sit and edit and cut out all my pauses and this and this way people can find it through the audio, they can find it through the tags. It's easier in a way. Like, I still love doing this, but I also really love doing that with short form content. It's just, I really like it. And yeah, I think that's all I've got for you guys today. I'm exhausted. I'm sorry if this was really rambly and just kind of out there because I wasn't holding up books the whole time. Yeah, that's just some of my favorites from 2019, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know some of your favorites down in the comments below, because I'd love to hear what you enjoyed this year, whether it was like along a similar path as mine or a completely different path. Let me know. Without further ado, I will let the end screen take it from here. See you guys next time.